In this week's AMT John Deere Fresh Produce Market Overview, we look at the potential impact of the severe frost on the potato market prices. All in this week's episode, so make sure to stay tuned. Welcome to this week's AMT John Deere Fruit and Veg Overview, proudly brought to you by John Deere and FieldNet Pivot Watch. To stay ahead on market trends and produce prices, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. The latest Brent oil price dropped to $86 per barrel over the past week. The latest unemployment figures have raised concerns about the weakening US economy, which could negatively impact oil demand, as the US are the world's largest oil consumer at the moment. Meanwhile, investors are also monitoring the impact that Tropical Storm Beryl could have, potentially limiting oil availability in the region. However, this could also be seen in a positive light. If economic growth in the US slows down, inflation will probably also start to decline, which may force them to lower interest rates. The central bank may also lower our local interest rates then as well, which will bring much relief to our consumers. However, this may only materialize towards the end of this year again. The rand strengthened slightly over the past week and is currently trading on 18 Rand 13 per US dollar, which is approximately 10% stronger compared to a year ago when we traded just below the 20 Rand per dollar mark. I, however, believe that the 18 Rand mark is a reasonably strong level for the rand given current circumstances. If political uncertainty increases and there is again load shedding, for instance, we could see the rand fall back to the 19 Rand mark easily. The past week, the average national potato price decreased to 58 Rand 1 cent per 10 kilogram bag, with volumes about 15% higher. The large potato price traded on 65 Rand, mediums on 56 Rand and smalls on 41 Rand per 10 kg. Mondials traded lower on 58, Cifras on 62 and Lenormas on 55 Rand, with the average price on the Joburg market just below the 57 Rand per 10 kg mark. We experienced widespread frost across most parts of Limpopo, which is almost the only part of the country that can grow potatoes this time of the year. The frost will, however, impact prices going forward. The most recent year that comes to mind was in 2021, when we also had frost in Limpopo during July. What was interesting is that prices remained relatively sideways during August or during the coming month, and only increased in September when the lower volumes were felt on the markets. If we follow a similar trend compared to 2021, given that the average price remained about 48% higher compared to 2021, we can expect the following trend to materialize and the average potato price to increase past the 120 Rand per 10 kg mark during September. I think that we can, however, expect anything between 100 and 120 Rand during this period, with market agents also expecting more small potatoes and less large and extra large potatoes during this period. This will, however, all depend on the extent of the damage that was caused by the recent frost in Limpopo. The tomato price decreased by 3% the past week to 8.54 Rand per kilogram, with volumes increasing by about 22%. Large tomatoes traded lower on 8.99 Rand, mediums traded lower on 8.37 Rand, while smalls also decreased to 7.55 Rand. We also saw a similar price trend in 2021, and if a similar trend is realized for the rest of this year, we can see prices remaining on a lower level at least until the end of September, but expect better prices during October again. According to my sources, the frost didn't have a major widespread impact on tomatoes yet, but colder conditions can result in lower quality coming to the markets soon. As expected, the average carrot price decreased to 3.73 Rand per kilogram, while large carrots traded on 3.96 Rand, mediums on 3.29 Rand and smalls on 3.53 Rand. We are still expecting significantly lower prices now, with the average price that can decrease to below the 4 Rand per kilogram mark and possibly stay there until the end of October. Moving over to the onion market, we saw the average price decreasing to 83.50 Rand per 10 kg, with brown onions decreasing to 81 Rand, red onions maintaining its extremely high levels of 197 Rand, while white onions also decreased to 84 Rand per 10 kg. All size prices also decreased, with large onions on 75, mediums on 88 and smalls on 70 Rand per 10 kg. We are seeing a similar trend compared to the 2019 production season, and assuming we will continue to follow this trend, we can expect prices to continue in this downward trend from here on out. The average pepper price increased to 15.57 Rand per kilogram, while green peppers increased to 16.87 Rand, yellow peppers decreased to 13.39 Rand, while red peppers traded lower on 12.16 Rand per kilogram. It looks like the average price already started to increase as was expected, with the frost in Limpopo that can have an additional upward effect on these prices soon, so expect this price to remain in a strong upward trend for now. Join the excitement around FieldNet Pivot Watch. Experience unmatched monitoring of any pivot, anytime, anywhere, offering complete peace of mind on your farm. FieldNet Pivot Watch is not only cost effective but also time saving. Ready to transform your irrigation? Contact your nearest Amatic dealer for a quote on FieldNet Pivot Watch now. Looking at other market prices, we saw cabbage prices increasing to 3.27 Rand, garlic prices decreasing to 110 Rand per kilogram over the past week. Spinach prices increased to 4.31 Rand, while sweet potato prices increased to 4.72 Rand per kilogram. The latest pumpkin price also increased, trading on 2.82 Rand per kilogram last week. Moving over to the fruit markets, we saw the banana price increasing slightly to 6.75 Rand per kilogram, which is about 122 Rand per 18 kilogram box, with volumes increasing by 11% week on week. We're still expecting prices to remain on this lower level during July and possibly gain some momentum from August onwards. The latest apple price increased slightly to 8.52 Rand last week, while the latest pear price also traded sideways on 9.57 Rand per kilogram. I think that apple prices can trend mostly sideways over the short term and then start trending upwards from August, while pears can remain in its slight upward trend for now. The orange price decreased to 4.40 Rand the past week, with any real upward momentum that will only start from September onwards. The avocado price increased by 1% to 14.40 Rand per kilogram last week, while Fiates traded higher on 18.72 Rand, Haas on 10.04 Rand, while Pinkertons also increased to 13.41 Rand. We're still expecting more volumes at least until September, which could keep avo prices around current levels for now. From October onwards, however, prices might start to increase again. The average table grape price increased to 109.02 Rand, with volumes decreasing by 31% week on week. During July, it's likely that this price can stay on these higher levels. The latest pineapple price also increased, trading on 8.18 Rand. Lemons, however, decreased to 4.30 Rand due to high volumes, while the average blueberry price also traded lower on 122 Rand per kilogram. These insights are made possible by John Deere and FieldNet Pivot Watch. Visit our website at amtrends.co.za for more detailed reports, prices and videos. I'm Dr. Johnny van der Merwe, and thank you for watching.